Tony, he's Mike, and we're going swimming again. But this time, we're going swimming in the freshwater because we are doing 1978 Piranha.
Piranha. They call them the devilfish because wherever they go, hell waits below. These are the man-eaters who go beyond the bite of all other jaws. Sharks come alone. Piranha come in thousands. Piranha.
It's a weird movie, but I love this movie. I'm a fan of this one from the word go. I'm just... Tell us, cast us.
So really quickly, the story starts off with these two teenagers. They're hiking and they stumble upon this military installation. They don't know what the hell it is though,
But they are delicious.
Apparently so. So they decide to take a dip. They get eaten in the process. So since they are missing our lovely actress Heather Menzies. Who she plays?
Barbara, I think. Yes, Barbara.
Is it
Barbara and David. Yep.
Okay, all right. So anyway, she plays Barbara. And so Barbara's hired to find the missing teenagers. She goes to investigate.
These kids are way out in the boonies.
I can find anything, Earl. I'm 2/3 bloodhound. I told you that when you hired me.
She runs into the hero of our story. I forgot his name. What was it again?
His name is David. And
David.
He's not just a hero to our story. He's a hero to all of us. He is an example that, you know what? Yeah, you might drink, but he's trying to make a profession out of it.
Oh, yeah. He's a high-functioning alcoholic.
Scotch? Gin? Bourbon? Tequila!
It's not just a hobby for David.
No, it's a lifestyle.
He is all in. He is so all in. He cannot drive to town to get his own booze. He has to have his neighbor deliver it in a sack.
Hey, Paul! Lagging behind, huh? Telling you, this hike from town is getting longer every week.
So anyways, Heather's investigating. She runs to David. David says, hey, there's this installation a few miles up. And Heather's like, well, you're going to take me up there. They go up there and investigate. And so while they're there, they stumble upon this secret lab. And they get ready to drain the swimming pool to find some remains.
Yeah.
And out comes Kevin McCarthy. I forgot the name of his character.
Crazy Dr. Man.
Yeah, Crazy Dr. Man tries to stop them. Well, they insult him. And then they drain the pool and release all the piranha, and then shenanigans ensue.
The best kind of shenanigans too. I kind of love this movie for a lot of reasons. An interesting note.
Okay.
Of all the Jaws knockoffs, Steven Spielberg says this is his favorite.
Suddenly there were hundreds, maybe thousands.
It's got its moments. It has the same, for me, has the same issue that Brutal Boxer has, in that they double and triple down all the killing. There is a shit ton of kill in this movie.
Yeah.
It is a very mean-spirited movie too. On top of it, like it's not really played for laughs too terribly much. You're like really reveling in the carnage and the feasting that's going on. I mean, you thought Jaws was a killing machine? You ain't got shut the fuck up, piranhas, dude.
You get sauce in the head?
No.
They eat everything.
Everything and everyone, and it doesn't matter if you're young or you're old.
No.
If you're in the water and you're delicious, you are on the menu. Now, this was directed by Joe Dante. So
Yes.
this is one of his first feature films, and this is what led to him getting Gremlins, Number one. Number two.
Well, even before Gremlins, there's one of my favorites, The Howling.
Yes, which
And
actually...
also did another cult classic that I really enjoyed from my childhood, The Explorers.
Yes, and he also did Inner Space, and he did The Burbs.
Yeah.
So Joe Dante, this kicked off a illustrious career. Thank you again, Roger Corman. Respect.
Yeah.
In case you were wondering, Bradford Dillman, who plays David, our friendly local alcoholic, that was the doctor in Escape from the Planet of the Apes, the one that shot Zira and Cornelius.
Oh.
That's what he looks like with the
Okay.
beard and hair.
There you
And
go.
then Heather Menzies, she was Louisa Von Trapp in The Sound of Music.
Yes.
So these are not nobodies. These are people that in this time period had they maybe weren't like
They had credibility.
They were working actors. They were legit working actors.
Here's another fun fact. What's her name again? Heather
Menzies.
Menzies. Posed for Playboy.
Oh,
Yeah.
check that one out. Anyway, this film had a $900,000 budget, which was then slashed to $660,000 by Roger Corman himself because he was busy making another film called Avalanche, and disaster films were all the rage. So he thought I'm going to invest more money into that one. Ha! Surprise, Roger. Called that one wrong. But what it did allow to happen is that he was so invested in the Avalanche movie, Joe Dante and his crew were basically left to do whatever the hell they wanted, and they got away with it. Phil Tippett did the Piranhas. And Phil Tippett went on to do basically all the stop motion effects for The Empire Strikes Back and all the Star Wars.
He's one of the big guys in Industrial Light and Magic.
Yeah, absolutely. He's one of the founding fathers, and he just recently did a film called Mad God, which I'm sure you probably saw that one. It's all
I have
stop
not
motion.
seen that yet.
But Corman knew how to find talent and like really help kick off careers like no one's business. He made 76 rubber piranhas and 4 of them with metal teeth for the close-up shots. And I will say this too. Those piranha are convincing looking. When you see the close-up footage, it's confusing enough, but you also see like them biting away at skin.
I wouldn't say the piranha themselves are convincing. The editing makes it convincing. The editing is done so well that you don't really get a chance. You get a feel of the intensity and the ferociousness as opposed to actually seeing the intensity and ferociousness.
And the sound design.
Yes.
The sound design is completely creepy sounding. That
Yes.
whole... This is actually one of New Line Cinema's most profitable films. It did $2.1 million in box office here in the U.S. It returned $14 million in foreign box office. So,
wow.
So on their $660,000 budget, they did a $16 million return on investment. So it doesn't get a whole lot better than that.
That's funny because it's not quite a flop in the States, but close. I mean, barely doubling, tripling your money is not like great return on your investment.
For grindhouse cinema, it's pretty
okay.
good though. It's not like they had like a big TV spots or anything.
It's nothing to like really fucking rude about, you know.
Well, but a lot of these movies, I mean, honestly, a lot of the drive-in movie fodder was specifically for exporting to foreign markets. They didn't make their money here. If they did that, if they broke even and they made a little bit of a profit here, that was great. But when you start exporting it as this big American film to you know, the Slavic states or Asian markets, any place like that at all, that's like, oh, it's American cinema. And seeing as we just did Brutal Boxer, now you know kind of what this is a higher quality product than what the Hong Kong market was putting out a lot of times. So it is going to stand out a little bit higher than that one.
I will give it this. It is very competently shot and competently put together. The script is, the story is just so. There's enough there to explain things and get the plot going and stuff. But this thing, as compared to Orca, I almost said Okra, getting hungry. But compared to the Orca, where Orca is kind of like inspired by Jaws, this is like more of a closer wholesale ripoff. Especially when you got the fact that these are just eating machines. You got the local politician that is like ignoring every single warning that's out there to keep the party going.
Wouldn't it be better if we wait until the call stops?
You got your orders, mister. Hop to it.
They could have with the military crap, will you, Colonel? I'll take care of it. Whitney, sir. Let's hop to it.
Or for where the festive thing was that they were doing there.
I think it was a 4th of July like river festival thing, but you also had the camp with that. Actually, I think it obviously took inspiration from Jaws, but I think it also took a lot of inspiration from like Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th wasn't out yet.
Oh, really? I didn't realize
No,
this
this was
actually
78,
predated.
which Friday the 13th is also 78.
Oh,
So there's
okay.
there's no possibility of overlap.
Well, I'm not going to say meatballs.
Nope, 78 also.
So that whole segment was actually
that's original.
that's original. They took the Jaws DNA, but they injected a lot of stuff that was not in Jaws, or they took it from a completely different angle. Because Brody wasn't an alcoholic; he had one tall, stiff drink before going and doing an autopsy on a shark.
Which I wanted to prove today by cutting the shark open, but you want to let that breathe for nothing. You're going to be the only rational man left on this island after I leave tomorrow.
This guy's hammered through the whole movie. He's got a canteen filled with whatever, paint thinner, and he's that's not water.
Look at this. You put a dent in it.
Could I have a sip of that, please?
It's not water.
There's literally a line in this movie. you got to appreciate that fact. I also like the secret government facility. There's a lot of B-movie drive-in throwback stuff.
There's a lot of Corman stuff here. Yeah, I mean, especially with all the body horror.
So
it's Corman written all over it.
Funny story, because of his involvement in Avalanche over Piranha, Roger Corman didn't even know who starred in this film until he saw the cut before it was released. That's management right there. That is a guy that just says, you know what you're doing, go do your job, and I'm gonna be over here. Just show me when you're done with that one. So kudos to that. Now this has been released multiple times. It's been released on DVD. It's been released on Blu-ray. It was remade in 1995, almost in its exact form, with Alexandra Paul and William Catt.
I actually watched about the first 15 minutes of that because it came on like immediately after Piranha was over. I was like, oh, you like Piranha? Well, why don't you watch Piranha? All right, here we go. So, it's like almost shot for shot, word for word. There's like some slight variations.
And it's Mila Kunis's very first film. She was like she plays the daughter in that one. So that's just a little interesting side note there. Her whole career kicked off because, I don't know if it kicked off because of that, but
no,
she
really,
was in it. She got a paycheck out of it.
Right, she was in it. What kicked off her career was that 70s show.
So, and yet another funny story. Apparently, Universal was trying to put a legal injunction to stop the release of this film because it was supposed to be releasing right around the same time that Jaws 2 was releasing.
Okay.
And Steven Spielberg said, no. This is a parody. If you can't say, look, you're going to spend an awful lot of legal time. You're going to hurt some fellow filmmakers, which I find fascinating because Steven Spielberg was the executive producer on Gremlins, which was then directed by Joe Dante. So when I say Steven Spielberg was a fan of this, he literally went out of his way to hire a lot of the people that were involved in this. Yeah. So he legit was. So.
No, Joe Dante is a great director, and what's his name? Who wrote this? John Sayles, is that his name? Great writer. He
Oscar
wrote the
nominated.
Also.
Oscar nominated.
I mean, he has some really. I mean, this has a good pedigree to it.
It really does. Yeah. It's a bunch of unproven talent that's given a chance and given a little bit of money, and then just they went for it. They went for it hard. And you said that this film was mean-spirited, and I'm going to say that is a thread that is all through most of Joe Dante's work because Gremlins and Gremlins 2 are mean-spirited.
Ready!
But in a hilarious way. Yeah. And the howling is mean-spirited as well.
But at least with those movies, there's an undercurrent of humor.
Oh,
it's hard to find, it's hard to pick up on, but it's there. It's here on this too, but
it's not as refined. It doesn't bubble to the surface like it does in his later films. He had a little better idea of exactly what it was he was doing and how to actually hit it properly for laughs as opposed to just going, why'd you have that old man's legs eaten off? He's just sitting there talking to his dog. What was that about? There's also the mean-spirited part where they're doing the tube race at the summer camp and the little girl gets the inflatable canoe and she paddles out and she saves the one blonde instructor that has been like defending her from the guy who runs the camp who's a jerk. But then the other girl dies. And that shot has scarred me. It has stuck with me since the first time I saw this. And it is the scene where you see her, it's a top-down shot and you see her going away from the camera into the depths. And it scarred me as a young child, and it still scars me to this day. It's an amazingly effective shot, and I don't know that I've seen any film that hits not only the idea of being eaten to death, but then also drowning at the same time with the same level of impact.
Yeah, being dragged to the depths while being eaten alive is pretty horrific.
Yeah. So
pretty horrific. I got a question for you.
Shoot.
So, at the beginning of this movie, when they go into that facility, there's this weird little stop animation creature.
Yes.
What the was up with that?
Okay.
And where's this payoff?
All right. I'm glad you brought that one up. I didn't know if we were going to actually talk about this, but I'm glad you brought it up. So we get to talk about it now. That is actually, the laboratory was doing genetic research, and they were doing all kinds of different, species. There's actually a couple of different weird genetic creations in there.
Yeah.
There's the one in the tank that looks like a fish-headed dick, and then there's the one that's walking around. That is an homage to the Beast from 20,000 Leagues.
What is it? Where did it come from?
Phil Tippett, being a stop-motion aficionado, was also a Ray Bradbury fan.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah.
And he wanted to do a specific homage to the Ymir from that film. And at the end of the movie, what was supposed to happen was there's the military lady that's all like...
As an expert in tropical species, what danger is there in the possibility of the piranha reaching the ocean?
Oh, none at all. Most of them will have been destroyed by pollution at the end of the lake. Of course, if any of them did get through, there's no way they could survive the salt water.
That creature was supposed to emerge from the ocean, fully grown, giant-sized, and they were going to end it on that. And they decided to ultimately not do that.
What a miss!
But that little
That's
snippet...
a miss!
Yes.
That would have been so cool to see. I would love to see like a cheap ripoff of like Godzilla or something like that with this crew. Because that'd been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was going to say...
Joe Dante, is he still alive?
Joe Dante.
Joe
Production
Dante's still
assistant,
alive?
is Joe Dante still with us? I think he is. Pretty positive he is. I know Phil Tippett is. So they've got the goods.
Joe Dante is still alive. He is 77 years old.
We can do this. We can make this happen.
Bring us a kaiju movie. Tie it into this, please. Please, I would love to see that. That'd be so cool.
This film was what? This film's been remade twice now.
Multiple times.
Yeah, the first time was like a page-for-page lift on this one, and the second one was just kind of like, we're going to take your idea, but we're going in a different direction. And that one actually had Richard Dreyfuss in it.
Yeah, at the very, very, very beginning, which is fun. I think that version, the third version, is the one I enjoyed the most because of the camp values. Like, it knew exactly what the hell it was.
And what it went for it. Yeah.
And actually went for it. It's like Friday the 13th Part 6. I knew exactly what it was. Hey, we're playing this for laughs. You guys are in on the joke with us. And it's a lot of fun.
I was going to say, I love this movie. I've always loved this movie. I have owned this movie on Blu-ray for a long time. And speaking of film series that kick off careers, the follow-up to this, Piranha 2, The Spawning, which goes a little bit more into the genetic modification of piranha fish, where they cross them with flying fish. James Cameron's directorial debut.
Yeah,
and
that's correct.
It just arrived on Blu-ray at my house. And I'm waiting to invite Mike over to sit down and watch it because that review's coming.
Well, if this review does well, we'll follow up with it. You guys gotta earn that shit.
Yeah, that's right. So like, share, comment, all that shit down there, so we can do Piranha 2.
Well, one other thing that I want to note about this, is that never in this film does what's her name? Heather.
Barbara.
Actually,
Heather.
Maggie's her name in this. It's Maggie.
All right, wait. I have Heather Menzies. Wait, which one's Maggie?
I thought Maggie was Heather Menzies.
Either way. I have Barbara and David. Oh, wait, Barbara, you know what? Oh, my God.
You got the movies mixed up?
No, I don't have the movies mixed up. Barbara and David are the two that get eaten in the pool.
Son, got your breath?
Yeah, let's go.
Never mind. Maggie it is.
All right. So, that woman never takes responsibility for releasing the piranha.
No.
She blames it on the government.
She blames it on the doctor, actually.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they go to this facility, they break in. Yes, they find evidence that Barbara and David were there. Great, fine. They find a necklace. Okay, yeah, we should maybe take a look in the pool. Well, it's kind of murky. We ain't going swimming down there. So they go inside and they decide they're going to drain it. And when the doctor tries to stop him, they bash him in the head multiple times.
Yeah. So it's breaking and entering, there's assault, and then they unwillingly commit multiple counts of manslaughter.
I was going to say gross negligence.
Yes. gross negligence. It's not their fault, though. It's the government.
Yeah, for making them.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The government did some up shit here, but come on, you got to own up to that stuff.
Well, they do reveal that they were supposed to be bred for Vietnam and they were going to release them in the river system over there, but then the war ended and they didn't have anything to do with them, which at least they thought it through to that level. I mean, it wasn't just like, hey, let's just make a fish that eats people. Why? Oh, we got some money. At least there was a use for them. And in this film, pollution is the hero. What would have been better?
Supposedly, but apparently not, because there's a part 2 to this.
Well, if a crying Indian had climbed out of the ocean at the end, I think it would have been better.
You get that reference? Maybe if we can find a clip, we'll throw it here.
Some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it.
Funny story. He was Italian, not Native American.
Why you pollute?
We're just Italian.
I don't know. You got anything else on this one?
I've got nothing. I love this film. I adore it. It's an absolute recommend for me. I have a blast every time I watch this film. I even watch the Alexandra Paul and the Greatest American Hero version of it because I was already there. And remaking horror film shot for shot was a thing in the 90s.
Yeah. It doesn't work very well.
You know what? You say that, but I think the remake of Night of the Living Dead is actually, I prefer it to the original version. One, because Tony Todd is in it, and Tony Todd is phenomenal in everything that he does. Yeah. And then two, it's got Patricia Tallman in it, and Patricia Tallman I'm a fan of. So,
to me, there's no point. But that's just my opinion.
Anyway, all right.
So, anywho's, it's a recommend for me, but Jaws is still definitely better. I enjoy Orca more because I enjoy the kills from Orca more. Because they're fun and silly. Because again, it's like you're feeding the killer whale with people.
This is about quantity, not quality. But I will.
Well, I mean, okay, yeah, it's a kill buffet, but sometimes there's such thing as too much. But so, anyways, I like Orca more. I like Jaws more. It is a recommend. And again, like I said for the Orca review, if you're doing like a fish creature feature, absolutely, throw this in or
Oh,
aim on the Piranha.
yeah. I was gonna say if you're gonna do Jaws inspired creature feature and you're doing a 3-movie thing, you gotta do Jaws, you gotta do Orca, and you gotta do Piranha. There's your 3 right there. Everything else is a combo of any one of those 3 films. Those are the 3 that brought original stuff to the buffet.
Yeah.
And now you get to mix your ingredients. It's like a build your own burrito sort
Now,
of thing.
now here's the thing. Here, if we do a follow-up, because we did Orca, we did this.
Yeah.
Now it's not quite the same vein, but it's kind of the same waters a little bit. Alligator.
Oh, absolutely, and frogs.
Man, frogs.
I've got a list of animal kill people movies all warmed up and ready to go.
If you like animal kill movies, let us know down in the comments. Throw in there what you'd rather see us review next, and that's what I got.
Well, we will catch you next time.